Hello, my name is Andy, and in this video we will be looking at using your iPad dock plus the app library. So in the last video we learnt about the home screen as a collection of different apps. Here they are, and we also looked at how you can move between different home screens by swiping your finger left and right. If you haven't watched that video, you might like to do that first by clicking on the link currently showing at the top right of your screen. Not only are apps available on the home screen, they are also here along the bottom, and this area is called the dock. What's handy about the dock is as you move left and right through your different home screens, notice that the dock doesn't move. It remains static, and this is handy because they're always available there no matter which home screen you happen to be upon. We can use this area called the dock to put some of our favourite and most used apps. So these are the ones I use the most, which is why they are down in the dock. I'll be showing you how to move apps in and out of the dock in the next video, so feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But for now, just notice that these apps are available whatever home screen you happen to be on. Now, depending how new your iPad is, and also if the relevant options are turned on in settings, which we will come back to in a minute, you may see there is a dividing line just here. So the dock is split into two sections. Everything left of this dividing line, these apps stay here permanently, whereas these four icons have special functions. So here, right of the line, you can see the three apps that I've recently used. And if I decide to open, for example, Reminders up here, and tap there, and then close that app, then Reminders becomes one of the three recently used apps. This area is going to be constantly changing depending which apps you open and close, and it will always show the three most recent apps you've used. Many people find this a little confusing because an app that was here as one of these three apps just a few minutes ago may no longer be there. As you keep opening and closing apps, then this is constantly changing, whereas all the apps to the left of the dividing line will stay there and not change. And indeed the apps on the home screen won't change either. At the very end of the dock, just here, we can see a shortcut to the app library that we looked at in the previous video. If I tap on that, it takes us to the app library, and as an alternative we could get to the app library by swiping all the way over to the right, and that takes us to the same place. So what is the app library? There are two sections. We have this area at the top, which is a search facility, and then underneath lots of different folders. I'll start with the search facility first. If you tap in this box, then it gives you an alphabetical list of all the apps on your iPad. And you can swipe up, and if we tap on any one of these, such as podcasts, it opens up the app. When I close the app, we go back to the list again. Alternatively, because it's an A to Z list, we can use this column here and say click on the letter C, and that's taken us to all the apps that begin with C in our app library. If I click now on the word cancel, we go back to the app library view. These folders here have all been created for us by Apple. Our iPad has decided various apps that it thinks should be collected together into folders, and it's named them based on productivity and finance or entertainment. And if you click on one of those, for example here the music app, then it opens that app. When we leave the app, we're back to the folder view. Some folders have more than just the three big pictures you can see. We have some smaller icons as well in the corner. And if we click on those, then the entire folder is displayed. And again, you can just click on one of these apps and go straight there. I personally don't find this folder view very helpful. Just because the Reminders app is there currently doesn't mean it will be tomorrow. These apps are constantly moving and changing, so you can't rely on remembering where something is and expecting it to be there tomorrow. I much prefer to use the app library itself by clicking in, or just finding the app I'm looking for on the home screen or within the dock. A potentially easier way of finding any app on the iPad is actually from the home screen. You can pull down from the middle of the screen, and as you pull downwards, a search box appears. I can equally type in here. You can see there's a few suggestions there, but if I type in REM for Reminders, you can see that the Reminders app has appeared, and I can just tap it from here without going to the app library. Lastly, as a bonus tip, if you don't like using or don't find them very useful, these recently used apps, you can actually turn off that facility in settings, and you can also turn off and on the shortcut to the app library if you don't use that either. This frees up a lot more space in the dock for you to place apps that you actually want to be there permanently at the bottom. If you would like to turn off either the recent apps or the app library, you can do so by going into Settings, which is this grey cogwheel picture. Now you want to be a little cautious what you do in here, because it is like going under the bonnet of a car, so be careful which settings you change. But if you can look on the left hand side here until you find Home Screen and App Library and tap on there, it goes blue and shows you on the right hand side all the different options relating to Home Screen and App Library. So if I come down to Show Suggested and Recent Apps in Dock and turn that off, now when we go back to the home screen, you can see that the Recents area has been cleared, and so has the line. But we still have our App Library shortcut. If you'd like to remove that as well, we go back to Settings, and where it says Show App Library in Dock, we can turn that off as well. And then when you go back to your main screen, that's missing as well. You can turn off both or just one of those options if you wish, and personalize it to what you prefer. So I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you would like more free tutorials of how to get the best from your iPad, then subscribe by tapping the iTeach logo currently on the screen. And in the top right corner, there is the next video in this series, where we will be looking at arranging and deleting apps, as well as making folders. So I look forward to seeing you again soon.